Well, based on the Twitter feed, the price of Vaseline is just about to go through the roof. Anyway, Monday night's comedy night here on RTE2, and in less than a week, Damo and Ivor have become like rock stars. Push to it, which one would you choose? Facebook us on the RTE2 page and get in on the selfie competition with your favourite. Next tonight, an internet blog is for all to see. Then again, Paul knows that. In the big sea.
Research. New series Masters of Sex starts Friday, October 4th here on 2. Now, strong language, nudity and graphic scenes of a sexual nature. Maia Dunphy asks what women want.
I want your body, everybody wants your
I'm Maia Dunphy, and I'm part of a generation of Irish women that finds it easy to talk about sex. I don't know what...
Fanny, muff, pussy, flange. Flange.
But do we talk about it much too much and relish it much too little?
We are getting better at talking about sex, but maybe not quite as good at doing it.
Do we feel such pressure to look man-pleasingly sexy, we forget that sex is about our pleasure too?
70% of women still don't orgasm through penetrative sex.
Are we able to be open about our real sexual desires? Or, for all our sexting, our sex toys, our risque lingerie and our X-rated reading habits, are we just as frustratedly unfulfilled as the generations who didn't have orgasm apps on their smartphones?
This is an alarm clock vibrator.
A sex alarm!
Yeah.
We want the best sex ever, but do we really know how to go about getting it?
When we're teenagers, sex is all deliciously scary and illicit, full of anticipation, even if we're not doing that much of it yet. Then in our 20s, it becomes the most important thing in the world, even if we're not always doing it right. Then suddenly we're proper grown-ups with proper grown-up responsibilities, and sex becomes something you either do repeatedly with the same person forever, or where you'll never find someone to do it with you again. Sex can become a weekly chore, like taking the bins out, or a less frequent one, like painting the kitchen.
57% of Irish women and 58% of Irish men aged 18 to 50 say they have sex less than once a week. An equal 25% of women and men say they have sex less than once a month. A tragic 17% of women and 14% of men aged 18 to 50 claim they have sex less than twice a year.
We are getting better at talking about sex, but maybe not quite as good at doing it, strangely enough. Everywhere there's always images and people are talking about sex and all the rest of it, and it imposes a huge pressure on people because they feel, well, you know, I must be sexual, I must be ready to have sex at any time of the day or night because everybody else is having sex.
But are they having good sex? Sad fact is, a 2011 survey carried out by Women's Health magazine revealed that 70% of Irish women are just not satisfied with their sex lives. But what is good sex? Is it all about the orgasm count? Does it depend on something deeper? And could I find the answer at a sex festival? Bliss, Ireland's first festival of sexual freedom, was having its weekender debut in Ballydehob, County Cork. Where else? And I decided to launch my search for the secret of red-hot sex by entering the sacred fire. But where would I find this sacred fire? Past some bushes, a happy dog? Well, there it was, the sacred fire. Right beside the sacred pizza stall.
I've just arrived down to the Bliss Festival, so I'm going to keep my mind open. If I can get my tent up, because I think if I go and ask for help, that might be some kind of code word of come put my tent up, might be an invitation. So I'm going to keep battling on. I can put up a tent and I'm going to be sexually liberated by tomorrow. Now, I'm here to have my mind opened. The tent is for one.
This didn't look like the bacchanalian feast of fornication I'd expected, but there were still hints of raunchier things to come. But before that, a cosy chat with Sex Festival organiser Beth Wallace.
Whoa! Did I fall in?
You're just dying to do that, aren't you?
I know. Beth, this is your brainchild.
It is.
Bliss is your baby. Mm-hmm. Where did you get the idea and when?
The idea, I suppose, came from a combination of my professional and personal life coming together. I've about a 25-year background in sexual health work.
Well, I'm going to be completely straight with you now.
Sure.
Before I came down here and reading about it, I thought, is this going to be a bit sleazy? Is this going to be a bit odd and full of strange people eyeing each other up? And an excuse to just fiddle with people. I just didn't know what to expect.
Yeah. In terms of the sleazy stuff, my experience is that that's when it's purely sexually focused. Whereas what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make a connection between consciousness, which is the spirituality, with the heart, which is so that it's love-based, it's respect-based, it's honouring, and sexuality. Whether they end up swinging from chandeliers, having group sex orgies, I have no interest in that. That people come here and it's like a buffet. So you can have a little taste of that, a little taste of that, don't like that, put that back, I'll have some more of that. And they can pick and choose what works for them and what doesn't.
There was one class one workshop rather, the polyamory workshop, that I think some of the Irish people that attended had a lot of questions.
I'm very familiar with the concept and it's something I'm very comfortable with, so I didn't really think it would